the Rideau Canal, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Rideau Canal is an outstanding engineering achievement of early 19th century North America. Carved from the Canadian hinterland in 6 short years, the Rideau was a remarkable transfer of European canal building technology, ingeniously adapted to the North American environment. The waterway is one of the world's heritage jewels. It is a source of pride for Canadians and an important symbol of Canada. The Rideau Canal and the defensive works of Fort Henry and the Kingston fortifications were conceived as part of the global strategy of Great Britain following the Napoleonic Wars in Europe and the War of 1812 in North America. Military strategists clearly saw the need for strong defenses and a secure supply route to support their strategic naval base on Lake Ontario and the burgeoning colony of Upper Canada. By fortifying Canada's supply line in case the Americans blockade the St. Lawrence River, and by forming a steamboat navigation, it would deprive the Americans of the means of attacking Canada, making Great Britain mistress of the trade of the vast population on the borders of the lakes. Canada is proud to announce the designation of the Rideau Canal as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This longest continuously operating canal in North America is the first World Heritage Site in Ontario. Canada's Rideau Canal has many stories to tell. The builders come from far and wide.
Landlords drove us from our homes. We came over the ocean in disease-ridden holds, and if cholera and dysentery spared us, we found work on the Rideau Canal.
We Canadiens roamed from site to site, clearing land to open the frontiers, so far from home and family.
Canal technology was transferred from the old world to the new. John By's itinerant labor force, directed by Royal Engineers and controlled and taught by sappers and miners, begin their monumental engineering task. An immediate challenge for John By was to understand the terrain and geography to create a slackwater canal. A technique largely untried at the time, it demanded the construction of a number of large dams, dikes, and embankments to create a series of impoundments to allow for navigation along a 202-kilometer route. John By understood the importance of emerging steam-powered transportation to the colony. He designed the Rideau with an eye to the future, building locks large enough for steam vessels instead of barges. The Rideau Canal is a remarkable engineering achievement and a work of human creative genius. It is today the most intact and best preserved example of a slackwater canal system in the world. Built in an isolated wilderness area on the frontier of Canadian settlement that lacked transportation and communication systems, the circumstances required innovation in construction, specialized materials, and technological know-how. The work called for great skill, endurance, perseverance, sweat and toil. Dangers and disease caused delays, injury, and death among the workforce.
I have seen heads, arms, and legs blown in all directions. I once saw a poor man blow a red stick. Off went the blast. He was killed in a moment.
Immense sums of money were saved by flooding land instead of excavating rock. Historian and engineer Robert Leggett declared the Rideau Canal to be a work of true genius. But through 5 sweltering summers, malaria, bad air they called it then, killed hundreds. Over 1,000 people gave their lives for Canada's Rideau Canal. But their achievement lives on. An engineering masterpiece, the Jones Falls Arch Dam, highest in the Americas at the time, used revolutionary stress technology. Construction took 6 years in all, but soon the threat of war passed. At the end of the day, John By was recalled, charged with overspending. Back home in England, on Christmas Day, 1835, John By's wife, Esther, wrote to his superiors,
in the fervent hope that you may see fit to recommend that some public mark of His Majesty's approbation may be conferred on Lieutenant Colonel Bai, to prove to the world that his services have been appreciated by the government of his country.
John Bai died a disappointed man. He did not receive in his own time the honor or recognition his great work deserved. If ever a man deserved to be immortalized, it was Lieutenant Colonel John Bai. Today, his engineering achievements are enjoyed by over 1 million people every year. North America's oldest, continuously operating waterway is a 202-kilometer corridor of beautiful rivers, lakes, and engineered canals linking the settlements and towns of eastern Ontario that would shape the heritage and history of Canada. An historic site that preserves the past for present and future generations, connects Canadians with their history, and makes available to everyone the Rideau experience. A monument to the vision of its builders, the canal is today a legacy for the world. In 1926, Canada designated the Rideau Canal a National Historic Site. In 2007, UNESCO designated the Rideau Canal as a World Heritage Site. The United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, seeks to encourage the identification, protection, and preservation of cultural and natural heritage around the world, considered to be of outstanding value to humanity, because of their natural features, historical significance, or spiritual meaning. The safeguarding of these places has become the responsibility of the international community as a whole. What makes the concept of World Heritage exceptional is its universal application. World Heritage Sites belong to all the peoples of the world, irrespective of the territory on which they are located. These World Heritage Sites enrich our lives and illustrate the diversity of our planet and its inhabitants. They are ours to share, to cherish, and to respect. Now, more than ever, our world heritage is our shared heritage.